So you're thinking about moving to Southeast Texas. Well, this is the video for you. Today, we're going to be breaking down Hamshire-Fannett, which is just south of Beaumont, and we're going to break down some of the real pros and cons. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the history, right? Because it's a unique little area, and we're gonna talk a little bit about some land, schools, lifestyle, commutes, and those sort of things. So make sure you stick around to the end so you can get all of those good details. So my name is Roland Thomas the second. My wife and I moved to Southeast Texas about 4 years ago, and we really enjoy calling this place home. And I love helping people make that transition out here. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90, make sure you give me a shout, and I help you make a smooth transition here to Southeast Texas. And I'm throwing this in there too. Even if you're thinking about renting, make sure you give me a shout. I want to help you make a smooth transition here to Southeast Texas. So let's jump into it. I'm gonna dive into my laptop here, and we are going to take a look at Hamshire-Fannett. Welcome to Southeast Texas. Here we go. So this is Hamshire-Fannett. You'll hear a little bit about this town here. You got Beaumont here, Orange, Bridge City, Port Arthur, Lumberton, Sour Lake, Houston's this way. And so we're gonna unpack Hamshire-Fannett. Now you might say, well, why I say Hamshire-Fannett? Because that's what they call it out here. It's not like it's not Hampshire by itself and Fannett. They just kind of merge together because it's the country, y'all. They do stuff different out here, but they're so close together. They just kind of merge. They kind of merge into one. There's probably some history there that I have no idea about, but I'm just gonna, I'm gonna share from my lens, right? Um, okay, so from here, you're looking at about 30, about 40 minutes to Houston, right? And it's really going to depend on what that traffic, what traffic is looking like. Let me get this. It's going to depend on what traffic is look like. It's gonna look like, because typically Wendy's about 30 minutes from Beaumont, and so from here you can really get into downtown Houston. I say probably about 40 minutes, right? You got Hobby Airport over 116 Beltway 8. Yeah, so you got Hobby right about here. So you got you got Hobby Airport here. That's gonna take you about 45 minutes, and then you have over here. You go over here. Then you got over here, IH. If you're gonna fly out right over here. So that kind of gives you an idea of the distance here. You're still looking at. I mean, we're right here on the edge of Texas. I mean, we're on the edge of Texas. If you want to take a trip over here to Louisiana, a lot of folks will go to Lake Charles for a little bit. You still got right about an hour and a half, to Lake Charles, unless you come up through 73 through Orange, and then you get on I-10, and here you are to Lake Charles. If you decide you want to go a little further over there to Lafayette, which is kind of really the next hub, um, I don't go to Lafayette often, um, so I really can't tell you how far it is. Let's see. Let me go Lafayette. But Lafayette is another. I always forget including Louisiana when I've done these last couple of videos, but I want to conclude it because it is a big part of the life out here in Southeast Texas. So let me pull this up here. So we got Lafayette. So we're gonna say Hamshire-Fannett. Oh, Hamshire-Fannett to Lafayette. All right, let's see. So that's gonna put you about 2.5 hours to Lafayette. Like I said, you can take 73, skip around, skip this part over here, and go straight there. So again, that's another major hub, right? That people go and enjoy a good time. Lake Charles is also, again, one that's a little bit more closer. You actually find people working in Lake Charles or Sulphur over here, and So you find folks working at Lake Charles, Sulphur. Um, you find them working over here from you find folks in Lake Charles, Sulphur working over here as well. What you going to see again? We talk about that plant life, right? Plant life, all the plants, all over here, all over here. Let's say let's say you're working in Orange and what some one of the kind of hub spots of some of the plants from Hampshire-Fannett to Orange to Orange. You're looking at about 50 minutes. You're looking at about an hour. It's about an hour drive. A lot of times you just go the back way here up 73. 73 is really the more ideal way. You go through I-10, you get a chance of getting hit with this traffic over here. It is a little safer to go along these lines over here. Okay. It is a little safer to ride I-10 to ride parallel to I-10. That's what you get from Hampshire-Fannett Highway. So that helps out a lot. Um, Stay off of this because you just never know what's going to happen on I-10. I say it all the time. You get to this corner here, you get to this section of I-10, it's a guess. But you can take this 73 all the way up to I-10 to Orange, or let's say all the way to Orange, Bridge City. Again, plants all up and down here, all up and down here. If you work in a plant, right, just then you got Beaumont obviously as well. So that gives you an idea of how far you are from kind of what's going on. Now, now if you're looking to go to Beaumont is about a 20-minute drive, so you're not too far from Beaumont, and it's right there along 124. This is 124 right here. This is really the main highway, and it's kind of like the only highway. uh, it's the only highway, but it kind of goes. Don't do too much with cheek. I'm just I know these two. Oh, I didn't show you. Oops. Yeah. So I know Hampshire-Fannett, and I haven't, I don't know too many folks over here in Cheek. It's probably because it's probably one of them high and by towns. You blow right through it. This how it is out here. It's just boom, you out of there. One light, no light, through it, off you go. But these two typically do a lot together because they kind of merge, right? Hampshire-Fannett. Okay. All right. So Fannett. Let's see. So Fannett was named after B.J. Fannett, and Hampshire for Lovan Hamshire. Let's getting a little bit of history here. Whoops. Let's let's get a little bit of some of this history here. Whoops. Hold on. Okay. All right. Sorry. All right, let's take a look here. So look, so Fannett get a little bit of history here. So Fannett, Texas, it is at the junction, like I said, state of Highway 124 and Farm 365, 15 miles southwest of Beaumont and western Jefferson County. You can see the population has took a little dip since 2020. Again, small town. So it was named after B.J. Frangill Fannett, an early landowner, and the nucleus of the community was formed when Fannett and Joe Dougal opened a general store on the Gulf and Interstate Railway during the mid 1890s. The two men secured a post office in 1899. Extensive irrigation and drainage networks were established to facilitate our agricultural efforts in the area, and the community served as a center for local rice farmers and ranchers. And the population was estimated to be 75 in 1925. The population was estimated to be 75 in 1920. 75 people. That's crazy. Although Fannett lost his post office in 1928, the discovery of Fannett oilfield to the south in 1927, and the Gilbert Ranch oilfield to the northwest in 1958 diversified the local economy. Nonetheless, the community's population has remained small, and Fannett Independent School District was consolidated with Hampshire District in 1961. Approximately 100 students lived in Fannett during the mid 1980s. In 2000, Fannett's population was reported at 105, but locals estimated to be considerably higher. So, goodness, yeah, it's definitely a little bit more people there, right? Than what the stats are sharing. But that was in 2000. I would probably believe a little bit more along the lines of 2000 or so people probably in the area, right? Um, it's a small town. So I remember when we first came out here, we were living in Winnie, and we had it was a little birthday party, and and it's like, oh, it's in Hamshire-Fannett. I was like, all right, cool. Where's that? I mean, I didn't know what nothing was at, and we went over there and just enjoyed a good time. A fun fact. One of our good friends actually owns a tree farm over here. I'm gonna show y'all. So when you're down here and it gets around that Christmas season, you want you a good old Christmas tree. Look at this. Oh, let me go here. Christmas tree farm. I could show you on the map, but I just want to hear it is. Boom. So it's one of my good friends. He actually owns this Christmas tree farm right here. We go out there and we get some family pictures all the time. And it's a fun place. Got 28 reviews. I mean, he's doing his thing. Can I see if he has more pictures in here? Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So we actually know this guy. He's a real good dude. We went to church with him. So great guy. Shout out to Eminem Christmas Tree Farm. Gotcha, bro. But yeah. So there we go. Yeah, there he is. That's the man right there, Mr. Gabe. Boom. He has his the little shop, that you can go to. I mean, he puts on a whole hallmark. We talk about let me tell you, you talk about a pro. And I'm not just hyping him up because I know him, right? But when we talk about like a pro of that small town feel, that hallmark feel, right? Dude, this man does it. Like, he does a great job. You go to his Christmas tree farm, it feels like Hallmark out there. They got the hot chocolate. Oh, and they got some kind of like cool hot chocolate. So I don't know what kind of hot chocolate, but it's really, really good. So during Christmas, we out here in Beaumont, Southeast Texas, make sure you go to M&M Christmas Tree Farm because they got all the things. All the things. So he is a true gem and highlight to Hamshire-Fannett. I'm for real. I'm not saying it because he's my buddy a little bit, but he actually put it. He does. It's quality, that's what I appreciate the most. So I appreciate the most. Okay, what else we got here? All right, so so these are some. These are it's just that's one. These are some of the pros, right? Again, that small town feel. Everyone knows everybody, and that can be good or bad sometimes, right? I know, that can be good or bad. When I say everybody know everybody, everybody knows everybody in these little small towns all over the place. So this it started out again. It started out as an agricultural um, rice farmland. If you again, I didn't know this before coming to the area that number one, when I say I was a 100% city boy, I was 100% city boy. I had no idea. that rice was even grown in Texas. But this is the rice capital of the world over here. I don't know if it's, I mean, maybe I might be making that up to an extent, but this this Gulf Coast. Let me. I guess I'll zoom out like that. This Gulf Coast, and I believe all the way through Louisiana, uh, is I mean, this rice. It's rice. It's the rice capital, like for real. Winnie, Winnie actually does a whole rice festival right here. They do a whole rice festival every year. So they don't play about that rice out here. It is serious business. Like it is big time. And so with rice, I'm going all off the topic. But I just got to because hey, this is Southeast Texas, y'all. We chatting. We chatting. Rice is a big deal. So with the rice, you got rice. And so when they have their off season for the rice, then the crawfish come up. And so then folks start converting their rice fields to crawfish fields as well. And so crawfish, listen, crawfish and rice is what we do in Southeast Texas. That's why I can't lose weight. I'm, I'm joking. Um, but we do a lot of rice. And so with that though, with that, this is why you want to make sure you work with somebody. You want to make sure you work with a real estate professional because I myself bought an old rice field and right over here thinking I got a good deal. And it was an old rice field, which is nothing wrong with it. If you don't know, if you don't know it was a rice field. I mean, if you know it was a rice field. But when you do not know it's a rice field and you don't know and it rains and a rice field is basically a big old pool. It's a pool with plants in there, and all that water just held, baby, didn't go nowhere. And I was like, this is terrible. So you just want to know that ahead of time because you got to lift that land up a little bit. So as long as you know, it's all good. But if you don't know, that's where the problem comes in. So make sure you work with me, and I'll make sure that if you buying a rice field, you know you buying a rice field. Okay, all right. Ask the right questions. All right. I'm still kidding. What am I still highlighting some pros? Okay. So the good thing I like about Hamshire-Fannett, right, is that it's a it's still outside of Beaumont. So you get that country living, you get the small town feels. It's still not too it's a simple drive to Houston. If you want to go to a major place, it's a simple drive to Houston. You jump on I-10, book it down I-10. Not bad at all. So you want to do a little day trip, day trip's a little easier. Boom. You jump on I-10, you can go that way. If you want to go to Louisiana, Lake Charles, it's not that bad. Jump on I-10, go 73, go, and it's a simple day outing, right? Not too far. Okay, so if you're looking for that kind of country living, but you don't want to live inside of Beaumont, um, then Hamshire-Fannett offers a good spot. Now, let me see here. Okay, so then you got. Let's take a look. Where was I going to go with that? We talked about that. All right, let's get a little bit into some of the cons because there are some cons, right? There are some cons. Um, as you see here, Hamshire-Fannett again. If you got rice, you got lowlands. All of this, baby, all of this is low. Matter of fact, let's just zoom in. I'll just show you. Let's just kind of dive. We'll dive into it. You see all that water? Look at all that water. Look at all that is bayous, water everywhere. We'll go to let me get to now I'm gonna go satellite. Okay, yeah, satellite it really kind of show you. I say rice land. Listen, I ain't playing rice land, y'all. This is rice. That is rice. Rice and hay. Rice. Rice, baby. That is all rice and hay right there. You can always tell because they got these canals right here. And these canals feed they flood it out, right? So they flood it out. I mean, by the droves, you can see it here. This might be crawfish. But they flood it out, and that's how they grow the rice. It's really interesting. Um, and then you come on a good day, right? You come on a good day out there, you see some of those big old rice trackers going down the street. It's super cool. Like, man, dude, I'm in the country. Yes, you are. Them rice tractors, them jokers like 12 feet, 13, 15 feet tall. They are huge with these big old skinny wheels. Impressive. I'm like, wow, look at this. But there's rice everywhere. So this land is low. I'll just cut to the chase. Trying to zoom in for you so you can see it. Here we go. We're gonna get boom. Look at that. It's pretty out here though. I didn't see you. Don't see me. Let me get it. Put this back up here. It's pretty out here. That I say all the time. It is just gorgeous. Just good old country land right there. Look at that. And it's just nothing but rice fields out there. Nothing but rice fields. As far as the eye can see. All right, we come on. See that Hamshire-Fannett right there. All right, so let's zoom out. We'll come out. Come back out here. Boom. So give you another view. So I said this is 124 here. This is this is really your major highway. This is gonna kind of drop you. No, let's come back out. Where do I want to show you? Okay, right here. So this right here will put you kind of right into the center of the town. Got your Dollar General. So there's always a Dollar General. And so this is what it looks like as you're kind of making your way into Hamshire-Fannett, into Hampshire. Right? You got a little house over here. I see a house all the time. You got a little bank over here. And you got your one street light. All one street light. And this is it. Like, this is it right here. The bank, that's the bank. They've been trying to build that bank forever. This is it. This is it. And you are here. The school is back here, which is really pretty. School's back here. And for you know it, you are out. You are out of Hampshire like that. Boom. This is it. One light. I'm gonna take you over here though. Let's go down. We'll go down this road. Because you can come down this road here. And the school. That might make you dizzy. Let me come out of that. So you come here, Longhorn Stadium. This is the school right here. And when we say Friday Night Lights, man, I ain't lying, y'all. Friday Night Lights is the real deal in Southeast Texas, man. They don't play. They don't play. Friday Night Lights is real. It is real. And it made school rivalries, all the things. Look at these little kids. They're out there just having a good time. It's fun, man. Get you some nachos, get you some popcorn, watch these little kids tackle each other, and everybody just having a good time, and everyone's reminiscing about the good old days, right? This is country living right here at its finest, man. But this is when it's always fun and wholesome, But you got the school right here, okay? Softball fields, the fire department, Longhorn Cafe, Dollar General, and you about done with the city. That's my friend's tree farm. Let me zoom over there real quick. Why? Because he's just cool. Oh, hold on. Is that right? Want to let me zoom in? Come on. I'm trying to show you another angle of the tree farm. Okay, you're coming in. Yep, here we go. So you're coming in, and this is the tree farm over here. So whenever you're ready to come Christmas time, get your tree farm. This is a really good place to go take pictures too. He has it set up really, really nice over here. Get you some nice family photos, nice pictures, right? The school will come out. It does like the highlight of the area. Schools will come out, they get all their school pictures done, and it's just pretty, right? Because he brings a quality of excellence that I really, really enjoy, So and that brother can cook too. So I'm hyping my man up, hyping my boy up, man. All right. Okay, so we highlight some pros. So we highlight some pros. Again, we'll talk about the cons. Just like I said, I mean it is high. I mean it is low, right? So because it's low, that proposes some issues. It's right here by the coast. Take this off. Oh, we take that off. There we go. Let's go here. Because it's near the coast and it's low. Get that. Because it's near the coast and it's low. Um, hurricanes flooding is real. Doesn't mean that every single spot floods. So you want to make sure that you research. You research the homes, especially when you get some of the ones that are outside of this kind of main city area, and you get to some of your more rural, your more outskirt homes, right? This is where you see all your more outskirt homes that's kind of out here, right? So all these are roads at, right? I mean, there's homes all over the place, right? And they just out there, right? You get you the land, you get you some good land, right? Get you some space out here in Hampshire-Fannett. But you just want to make sure you want to do your research to make sure that none of them homes um, flooded, right? So you want to run a history and want to make sure that you do your research that, and if it did, you want to make sure that you make sure flood insurance, make sure that the property is up high, right? Because some people want to deal with the risk, so they lift the house up and hey man, we're good, you just want to be well informed. That is the main thing. You want to be well informed. That way, you know all your risks before you take the next step. You want to protect your investment for the long haul. So if you know that a place gets wet, and so you lift it up to get your new flood zones, and then and go from there. You know, so flood, so that's a big con, right? The weather, you're so close. Um, you're not. So sometimes, so I talked about the commutes earlier. The commutes can feel long as well, um, because you're out there, right? So you got that daily commute, and honestly, a lot of people don't care, So but for some, it just all depends. 25 minutes, an hour to Orange, 45 minutes to Port Arthur, or if you work in Beaumont, boom, you got 20 something minute, 20, 25, 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending on where you work at, or if you work on the other side of Beaumont, you just never know. You got 20, 25, 30 minute commute, right? So you want to factor that in. Listen, about 35 to Port Arthur or so, and it all depends on just where you're moving at. Um, Lifestyle, right? There's not a lot of restaurants and a lot of things to do, shopping and entertainment out there, right? Most of your errands, like there's no major grocery store. So you're gonna drive into town, right? You're driving to town to HEB. There's a few of them. You can go to HEB south over there, off of College. You got that HEB, or you want to go to the one on Dowling. You got that HEB. Or if you're a Kroger kind of person, got that on Dowling as well. Um, so let's look at that. Let me show you that real quick, just so because I want you to know, right? That's the point of this. You want to know how is life out here. So if you're in Hampshire-Fannett, right, you're gonna go to HEB, from Hampshire. Let's go Hampshire-Fannett, Hampshire to HEB. So we got HEB Dowling, you got HEB in Port Arthur. But you're so close to it, you might as well just go to Dowling. Right, just go to Beaumont, go to Dowling. You could go to Port Arthur over here, but just go to Dowling. Right, just yeah. Why? Okay. 30 minutes. So you got 30 minutes to get to your food. So you think about you factor in that's a whole hour. If you got that's at least an hour of drive time. So you want to factor that in, man. I got an hour of drive time. Go drive in to HEB. Just driving HEB and driving back as an hour. If I'm gonna get some food, right? We got to walk around the shop. That's another 30 minutes. So you got an hour and a half at least to go get some food. So you don't do errands like you kind of hit you kind of hit it as you coming out of work or whatever, you're getting done with your business, whatever you got going on. Main tour for the day. You hit the grocery store and then you head back because you ain't trying to come back and then go back, right? That's just a lot of driving. So you want to factor some of those things in. Like I said, limited restaurants, shopping, entertainment. You typically you're going to go to Houston or you're going to go to Beaumont or Lake Charles for a lot of those things. Um, with the schools, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of school pride, but they're small. They're smaller districts. You're going to have the tight knit feel. It's going to have the community kind of support. You're going to have a lot of that, but you're also going to have limited programs, right? So the limited extracurriculars. So there won't be a whole a lot of stuff that you're going to be able to do a lot of, additional school amenities because it's a smaller school district. It's just a smaller school district, you know. Um, Yes, the land is affordable, right? You're gonna have some lower property taxes out there. You're gonna have a wide range of different kind of home types, but you're gonna be limited on your new subdivisions. There's not a lot of new things being built out there. You could have some onesie twosies. You could have if you decide to build a new home on some land out there, you're gonna have that. You know, so it's a small town, but all depends on what you're looking for. And I always leave it at that because it really does. It really all depends if you're looking for some land. This land, you're gonna get some land. It's probably gonna be a little wetter. Just call it what it is. If you're okay with that, cool. And like I said, not all of it is soaked. I've seen some pretty properties out there, like for real. Um, but that's what you want to keep in mind. Okay. The whole deal's, the one thing I always try to help and support, right? Is when you're looking, is when you're looking into this area and you're trying to figure out, man, where do I stay? Where do I go? What's a good area to call home? I want to give you a good snapshot of what all of this looks like, of what all of Southeast Texas looks like. Because this Southeast Texas, I think, so many get stuck in their silos of here, Bridge City, Orange, Mauriceville, they get stuck in their silos. But there's a lot of Southeast Texas out here. There's a lot. There's a lot. And true, honestly, let me, I said, wait, where am I at? Winfrey. I mean, really, truly, I'm, this is actually Southeast Texas. I mean, all of this. So a lot of times we do just get caught up, and it goes up. I loop that in. Yeah, let me this big ticket loop this in. Franklin, like this is Southeast Texas. It's huge. It really is. It really is huge. And so there's a lot of little cities in here that you can determine. Okay, if I'm working over here or here, well, how far am I willing to drive to get to if you're working over here in the Golden Triangle, can I draw it? That's gonna be a funny looking triangle. If you're working in the Golden Triangle, right? How how far am I willing to get here? You know, how far am I willing to get here? I know people legitimately who live over here. I know people who live over here. They live over here on the island, and they work over here. You know, am I still sharing my screen? Yeah, I am sharing my screen. Okay, and they work over there. So you want to determine which what how far you want to drive, how far you want to commute. Home, and I always go there. Home, home is where you park it. And I think you'll see that if you look at any of our older videos of kind of how we started out and traveling and all those things. We learned that home is where you park it. So Alder and Clay is all about home is where you park it. And so if you find a place to call home, like, man, it settles in my spirit, I really like this place, make sure you give me a shout. Or if you're looking at, you're looking at, we're going through the process, we help you find, give me a shout. Let me know. I want to help you find that home. And then you can drive and commute wherever you want. That's what a lot of folks do out here. I know people who live look at this. Let me show you. I got off the topic a little bit, but I get a little excited. I know folks legitimately what live over here, and they work way over here. No, yeah, they live over here. Boom. This I don't even know if this still Southeast Texas. It might be, and they work way over here. Yeah, home is where you park it. You find home, man. Find home. So, anyways, hope they help. Again, just want to share some pros and cons of Hamshire-Fannett. Give you an idea of what that city looks like and where it's at in proximity to some of the other major hub spots in Southeast Texas. Get this video a like. If this is the first couple of days, hey, make sure you what's the new one? We got the hype button. Make sure you hype this video, hype it up. So it gets out there in the algorithm, and it gets out there and help people find a place to call home here in Southeast Texas. So we'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. Comment below. I want to know your thoughts, what you think about Hamshire-Fannett, and we'll see you in the next video.